Let's get some further insight from Rida Lyammouri. He is a senior fellow at the Policy Center for the New South and joins us now from Washington, D.C. Rida, good to have you on the show. First off, give us a little bit of insight into how Western African governments are currently combating these types of groups at the moment with the absence of countries like France.
Well, right now, France is only, it still remains in Mali, but gradually they're withdrawing from Mali and they continue the presence. Is there in Niger and Burkina Faso, and they still also collaborate with Côte d'Ivoire. And recently they also announced further support to littoral states, coastal states, to support them in the fight against the spillover of terrorism into their territories. So the fight against terrorism in the region have been led by France with the support of U.S. logistical support in collaboration and coordination with the regional national forces as well as regional, including the Sahel G5 and also ECOWAS in Nigeria.
Rida, I'll ask you about the U.S. support in just a bit, but I want you to sort of grade France's participation on this. I mean, do you think that France had a meaningful impact at all in terms of fending off these attacks? Because it is no secret that many think that they had little effect in doing so.
Absolutely, you're totally right. When you look at the situation today compared to what it was when they first intervened in 2013, it's easy to blame, to say that the results that France has brought during their counterterrorism operation in the region that has, if you want to call it a failure, because the groups, new groups have emerged. They have also expanded to new territories. The number of casualties, including civilians, continues to increase. This does not mean that France has totally failed, but the success, we can say that it has been very limited, and it's very difficult to defend French operations when you look at the situation today. And they have, as I mentioned, they have had some success eliminating some key leaders as well as liberating the key towns in Mali, Niger, especially in Mali. But they have not managed, in collaboration with national and regional forces and governments, to create an environment where these groups cannot return. And that's why it's very difficult to say that the Barkhane and the Serval initially have succeeded in the region. And we can say that has struggled to bring in a meaningful success in the region. Quick
question. I mean, you talked about the emergence of new groups as well as existing groups expanding. Very briefly, why are we seeing this? What do you think is the root cause of this?
Well, they have found an environment that is fertile to exist. As I mentioned, the environment allowed them to continue to do that, to exist. The policies of national governments in the region have historically created some sort of division among communities, among populations, rather than unifying them. And when the security situation deteriorated in the early 2010s, they looked at these regions and they looked at these communities as part of the problem, and they looked at them as a problem. And we have seen acts of atrocities and increased security operations in these areas, which have intensified and played in favor of these groups to recruit and continue to expand in these territories, because the perception towards the state is just continues to deteriorate, and that provides an opportunity for these groups to recruit and expand.
Rida Lyammouri, thank you very much for joining us here on the NewsHour.